Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto was trained by all the greats at a young age. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual, share this with all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was transported to the Justice League world and enjoy that guys. And also remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, it was a bit of a sad mood. Well, the fact that Naruto was leaving, as everyone had came to a party to say goodbye. Lee had wished Naruto luck, but he was not in the mood because Sakura was dead and he was kind of sad about it. Yes, very sad about it indeed. As Naruto gave him a few parting words before going off. The next morning Naruto was at the gate with Hinata, his mother and his godmother. As Snazzy had assigned Tenzo over the job as well, to go and keep an eye on Naruto in case anything, as he understood. So they said their last goodbyes as they kept a smile on their face as they wanted Naruto to leave with a smile, seeing all of them happy. So with that, they left the village. As Kushina was called in, as she got a third member on her team so they could take the Chunin exams with Haku and Gabriella. Gabriella was a bit down as she thought that her sensei would be angry at her after what Sasuke did and all, and now she was a new clan head. Well, heiress. And he was to success her father. But Kushina wasn't angry at all. Kushina wasn't upset about it, as she told her as long as she's on her team, she would do her absolute best to make sure that she succeeded with all of her dreams. Their new teammate, however, though, was Teiwaya. As Kushina was quite angry at her, the girl kept on cursing, so Kushina brought her to the bathroom and washed her mouth out with literal soap. As she did that numerous times because no matter what she did, Teiwaya will just keep on cursing and cursing up a storm, so she washed her mouth out after and after again until Teiwaya got fed up of it. But she couldn't really do anything about it as she was her sensei now. As they went into a little training, things weren't so good on the team right now as she invited her over for dinner, and Alisa heard Teiwaya say that F word. Kushina went and washed her mouth out again. Haku decided to follow her as she invited Haku to her apartment. As Haku had asked Gabriella out, and he came home rather late after spending the entire time with Teiwaya. As Kushina wondered, how did he think Gabriella would feel about that, coming home 1 o'clock after spending so long with Teiwaya? After that, Teiwaya seemed to warm up to him, as at least Kushina was happy that they were getting along as a team well. Him and Haku, Gabriella and Teiwaya wasn't getting along at all, as they kept glaring at each other. The both of them seemed to fighting for Haku's attention. As at least the girl had stopped cursing up a storm so much. We then skip Naruto as it's been a year since Naruto has been on the road now, as he's been trained by every one of them, by Yamato, Saisho, Jiraiya. Yes, he's been trained by each of them in different arts, as he was getting a lot stronger than he was supposed to be if he was just alone with Jiraiya, as things was going well. Well, except for the knocking that Jiraiya was tired of, all the sword practice with fighting that Saisho was teaching Naruto. So yeah guys, that was basically the last one left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say begin this new episode? It's been a couple of weeks since they were last in the sea era, but as they were doing, they didn't stay one place for too long, as they were constantly on the move. Jiraiya was currently going over a report. Even as he trained Naruto, he was still the master of a large spy network. He had a handful of trusted agents who could get a message to him if necessary. They would not send him something unless it was urgent. Alone in his room, he read the note. God damn it, he said. Time skip. As Jiraiya got all of them in his room, We're leaving in 20 minutes, so get back. We're headed to the nearest port, he said. I thought we were leaving in the morning, said Naruto. Something has come up. We're going on an A-rank mission, said Jiraiya. A-rank, said Naruto, a bit excited. Yamato looked at him. Why? Is a Hokage assigned us a mission, he asked. She's not, I'm assigned it. One of my top agents is in danger of being exposed and requests immediate extraction. If he's caught, he will spill a lot of high-level information. We have to rescue him. Or if that is impossible, kill him. The security risk is too great to ignore. Why don't we contact the Hokage, Saisho said. Maybe she can send someone else. Jiraiya looked at them. We can't contact her. Sure we can, said Naruto. I can summon Kichi, and he can get a message to her in no time. That's not what I mean, kid. If Tsunade knew, she would refuse for us to go anywhere near there. And why is that, asked Saisho? Because the mission we're going to is in the Hidden Stone. As Saisho and Yamato both pale, as Naruto slowly smiled. As Saisho was the first one to get over his shock. Are you out of your damn mind? You want us to take Naruto into the village of people who hate him the most. Why not just ask him to swim in water with deadly sharks wearing chum on his body? With respect, Jiraiya, I have to agree, said Yamato. Going into the stone will be dangerous for us, but for Naruto, it will be hazard. Hey, I've gotten really strong, said Naruto. I can handle myself pretty well. Saisho frowned at him. You have gotten strong, Naruto, but this had more to do with just strength. If the rock ninjas discover you, they will not hesitate. They will simply kill you on the spot. It's not quite that bad, Jiraiya pointed out. We're not at war with them, you know. We're also a long way from being friends, said Yamato. While leaf ninjas are not banned, we're certainly not welcome either. I wouldn't trust those bastards if they welcome us with flowers and kisses, said Saisho. Being from Whirlpool, you have to admit to be a little biased, said Jiraiya. Naruto knew that was true. His mom was the same way. She despised the rock ninjas. As Naruto was honest enough to himself to know that he absorbed some of her attitude towards him. I don't really think much of them either, but how can we refuse an A-rank mission? Easy, said Saisho, by remembering, this is not a standard mission at all. If the Hokage knew, she wouldn't authorize it. This is a Hans mission being set up by Jiraiya. What's a Hans mission, said Naruto, as Yamato was the one to answer. It's a type of mission we see a lot in the Anbu Black Ops. It's completely off the books. Nothing official is written at all. You don't receive a mission field order, and when it's over you don't write a report. Everything is done orally, and there's records when it's over. Why would you do a mission like that, said Naruto? So if you go wrong, your village can wipe its hands of you, and pretend that you were acting without orders. It's a dirty little game that all the villages play. It let them pretend to follow the rules that they are playing, while they all cheat like hell. They all know they cheat, but they pretend not to know. It's a great system for the villages, but Kami help you if you get caught, because the village won't help you at all. They will simply pretend that they don't even know what is going on. I can't believe Konoha does things like that, said Naruto. I'm afraid Saisho has it right, said Jiraiya. These missions are a part of ninja life for us, as much as any other. If something goes wrong, the Hokage will not be able to help us. Running missions in other villages is a sign of war. Even if she wanted, she won't be able to acknowledge us without starting up a war. Look, I understand the extreme danger, believe me, said Jiraiya. I am not saying that we go to the Hidden Stone in a whim. The man that we're trying to extract, no. Most of the country agents, if he is captured and interrogated, our entire network there will be lost completely. It will take many years to rebuild, and in the meantime we'll be at a disadvantage of dealing with them. Whether this is an official mission or not, Konoha's security is on the line here. I wouldn't suggest this if it wasn't vital, and I wouldn't take Naruto with me unless he was ready. Thanks, Jiraiya Sensei, said Naruto. He's not going, said Saisho. Yes, I am, said Naruto. Naruto, do you understand how dangerous this is? Asked Saisho. Sure, it's about dangerous as assassinating Orochimaru was, and I'm a lot stronger than I was back then. It's not like Naruto will be announcing himself. I plan to have him in disguise, said Jiraiya. I'm going, said Naruto. If you want to protect me, Grand Uncle, I'm going too. Saisho shook his head and said nothing. If you had asked him, the worst place in the world that you wouldn't want to be, he would have said the Hidden Stone. But if Naruto was going, he would have to go too. Yamato shook his head. Jiraiya, you know I can't go without the Hokage authorization. That's fine, write to her. Since neither Naruto or I will help you, it will take a couple of days for her to get that message and back. By that time we'll be on a ship, already going there, and you won't be able to protect Naruto either. Yamato frowned. There was no way he could keep them from leaving. Alright, I guess I'll come with you. But you do know I'll be writing a full report on this. Jiraiya sighed. Yeah. I wonder how bad Tsunade is gonna hurt me. Time skip. A man named Modosua came inside Tishikage's office as he bowed. How may I be of service, Tishikage-sama? As the old man looked at him. What is the status of your interrogation? I have narrowed down the search to 4 members of the council. I am currently going over their financial records, and as for the records of traveling inside and out the Earth country, I am confident I will have the name of traitor soon. You have best be certain of the name that you provide me. If I put a council member under arrest, and he's not the spy, every clan member will be up in arms. Tishikage-sama, we have confirmed that Leaf Ninjas has received information that could only have come from the council. I have no doubt that one of them is a traitor. It is good that you are so certain, seeing that you are placing your own life on the line, said Tishikage. Still looking calm, the man spoke. Have I ever failed you, Tishikage-sama? No, that is why you're the head of the Envoy Investigation and Interrogation Section. That is also why I've trusted you with this. But I need a name, and soon. Yes, Tishikage-sama, the man said. Time skip. 5 days later, as Jiraiya and his group approached the village, as they're walking the straight pathway, as there was only one way to get there, the place was built around a mountainside, and it was trapped right in the center, so it was hard for you to sneak around, as Jiraiya was not wearing any disguise at all. Yamato and Saisho was also dressed normally, but they did not have on their headbands. This annoyed Saisho, who wanted to wear his whirlpool headband in enemy territory, but Jiraiya pointed out that it would draw too much attention, as Naruto was not wearing his normal black and red bodysuit. Loose black pants and loose black shirt over our body armor. Over his mouth he had a black mask similar to Kakashi's, and he had a black cloth that covered his hair and forehead, so only his eyes was visible. They could not use transformation because too many experienced ninja would spot them. As a group, the 4 of them approached the main gate, going up a long winding road. Now remember, we will be under surveillance the entire time, and we should expect our room to be bugged. Carefully, we need to be very careful, and they will likely arrest us if we give them any stupid excuse, or even if we don't, said Saisho. As he approached the gate, they saw the Chonins along with another ninja. Jiraiya recognized him, crap, as he looked at the man that was standing there. It was Mudasua. They're rolling on the red carpet, said Yamato. Who is that guy, said Naruto. He's the head of their Envoy and Interrogation Section. He's your top spy capture. Think of him as Ibiki. Great, Naruto muttered. Mudasua was not much to look at. Unlike Ibiki, he was not very physically dangerous. He was all 5 feet and really thin. He was bald except for a fringe of grey hair. He looked ordinary and unimpressive except for his eyes. His hazel eyes were sharp and cunning and never missed anything, as he always loved when people dismissed him as a normal person and not threatened at all. As they approached, Jiraiya ignored the Chunin and approached Mudasua. Well, this is the honor. How long has it been for? 5 years, said Jiraiya. Mudasua gave him a slight bow. His eyes went past him and roamed over his form of his 3 companions. Naruto thought they'd linger a bit on him for a while before they snapped back to Jiraiya, closer to 6. So, to what do we owe the honor of visit? From the legendary Jiraiya. Jiraiya laughed. I am traveling the world, doing a little research for my next book. I just happened to be in the area, so I thought I might stop by and see if I might find any experience in the local beauties. Really? Mudasua said. That is interesting. According to reports, you only arrived here by ship 3 days ago. To have gotten from the coast to the hidden stone, you must have been moving at top speed in 3 days. Almost like you had a purpose here, he said. He knows, Jiraiya thought. As Jiraiya laughed some more. What can I say? I couldn't wait to see if the women here are still gorgeous as ever. Of course. Would you introduce me to your companions? This fine fellow is Yamato. As the Envoy captain bowed slightly. It's an honor to meet you. Likewise, said Mudasua. This is Saisho. Saisho merely grunted. That was as much greeting as he would give. A slight grin came on Mudasua's lips. You are Uzumaki from what was Whirlpool Country. I recognize your uniform. That's right. I am the last of the Uzumaki clan. Except for the prisoners, Mudasua said. Despite themselves, both Saisho and Naruto gasped, as Mudasua noticed that the young one gasped. What the hell do you mean prisoners? Asked Saisho. Well, we took several of them in the last war. I believe a handful of them are still alive. That's a damn lie, said Saisho. You bastard, never take prisoners. Mudasua shrugged. War is war, and sometimes you can't afford to have prisoners. But we always need healthy bodies to work. We did take some prisoners and put them to work. Saisho stared at him, horrified at family being put to work in these places for years. If that is true, why didn't you release them at the end of the war? Because you did not hold any of our prisoners to exchange them. So what would we have gained? Saisho did not know if he believed them. If this is possible, I demand to see them. I'll consider it. Before Saisho could say more, he moved on to the last ninja. And you are? I am called Nadashi, said Naruto. Mudasua looked at him. You're called no name? That's right, said Naruto. Well, that certainly is suspicious, Modosuwa said. Are you Uzumaki? You reacted strongly to my information. No, I just care a lot about my friends. I see, said Modosuwa, as he kept an eye on him. You have the most extraordinary blue eyes. Thanks, said Naruto with a chuckle, but I think you should know I don't bend that way. Might I have a look at your face, please? I don't think you would like it, said Naruto. Narashi, said Jiraiya. Go ahead and show the man. Fine, said Naruto as he pulled on the mask. As his face was a ruin, the burns and scars in his cheek and his face. I don't like to show off. Modosuwa frowned. There was no transformation being used, but there was something about this young man, something that rubbed him wrong. What he wanted to do was arrest him and brought him to Envu headquarters for full interrogation. He sighed. Unfortunately, there are rules to this game. He could not do that, just like that. He had to follow the rules or the other villagers would stop following the rules as well. He stepped back. I apologize for embarrassing you. Narashi, put the mask back up. No problem. Modosuwa, look back, Jiraiya. Knowing the lifestyle you prefer, I do the arrangement of preparing a couple of sweets for you and your friends. The Tsuchikage also requests your presence. Tonight, at his mansion, you will be expected at 6. I'll definitely be there, said Jiraiya. I never turn in a free meal or free booze. Modosuwa nodded. Well, I'll leave you then. You and your companions can do as you please within the law. And I would strongly recommend that you do not break any of the laws here. As he gave him a small bow and went on his way. Time skip. As the four of them walk on the crowded street, they whisper to each other. The sweets will definitely be bugged, and we will be under constant surveillance. Yamato, thanks for your help, said Naruto in a low voice. How did you learn how to use latex disguises? One of the many skills of an Envu, he replied, just as quietly. Jiraiya looked at Saisho with a worried look. You're right, he asked. I'm not sure, said Saisho. Do you think that guy was telling the truth about the prisoners? Or he was just trying to get a reaction out of me? No way to be sure. But the war ended 15 years ago. I highly doubt that there would be a prisoner alive. Probably not, said Saisho. If they are, we're going to get them out, said Naruto. Listen, Narashi. You know the reason why we're here, said Jiraiya. We cannot let anything distract from that. Naruto shook his head. If there really are Uzumaki clan members here, then we're going to get them out. No matter what, he said. Time skip. The Tsuchikage mansion was made from a beautiful gold marble. In the evening, it shined like it was made from literal gold, as the place was large. Jiraiya smiled as he was escorted towards the dining hall, as he saw 4 people there waiting for him. When he saw who it was, he was barely able to keep his smile from slipping. Damn it, I wasn't expecting this. I need to play things cool, or everything would be ruined, he thought to himself. Modosuwa saw the smile slip for just an instant, as he was careful not to smile himself. He stood up and bowed as Jiraiya approached the head of the table where the others were seated. 2 others stood and bowed as well. The man that was sitting down did not rise. That would not have been proper because the Kage outranked even a Sanin. As the Tsuchikage nodded though. Welcome, Jiraiya, Tsuchikage said. I trust your journey was not too arduous. Not at all. I'm a veteran traveler, and the roads in our country are in excellent condition. As he gave a bow and to the seat that was awaiting him, he would be sitting to the Tsuchikage's right, the place of honor. Next to him would be Modosuwa. Sitting across from them was 2 men that Jiraiya recognized. Well, I am pleased to hear that. I trust you know Modosuwa already, of course. Allow me to introduce you to 2 of our council members. This is Dorobu and Nodaru. Actually, I think I met the both of you before. Last time I was here, said Jiraiya. Dorobu nodded. Yes, you did. I remember, it's not often you get to meet one of the Sanins. Nodaru smiled. Yes, he did. It's rare. You're one of the only Sanins that has ever paid us a visit after all. Jiraiya laughed and took off his sake. He was surprised it was so strong. Well, if you had a casino here, you have seen Tsunade before she became Hokage, he said with a laugh. My other teammate wouldn't have really announced himself. Seeing as he's dead now, he wouldn't get to see a chance to see his amazing village. You know, it was shocking to hear the news that one of the Sanis had been killed. Tell me, Nodaru said. Do you have anything to do with it? I wish. But the glory of killing the snake, go to Kakashi, the copy ninja. Dororu gave him a curious look. You know, we heard that the Kyuubi Jinjuki was there as well. Yes, I heard that rumor as well. By the way, his name is Naruto Namikaze, son of the beloved Yellow Flash of Konoha. As he would know, it brought frown to everyone's face except for Modosuwa. As Jiraiya was cursed in his mind, they must know that one of these 2 men my contact. Obviously, Modosuwa wanted to see if I would give everything away, or if these men give anything away as well. I have to play it very cool and look easy and relaxed at the same time. Such a shame I won't be able to enjoy this really good steak. The food was brought out and was excellent, as the conversation went on at a friendly pace. Jiraiya was happy to entertain them about his stories with many exploits and with women's. It was obvious to distinguish which subject he was on at any given moment. Throughout the evening, Modosuwa had little to say. He just really keep quiet and just watch. Time skip. Well, this has been a most entertaining evening, said Jiraiya. But I think I should get back to my suite. I thank you for a memorable evening, Lord Jiraiya, said Tishikage. Oh, said Jiraiya, tell me, is the Kabuki performing tomorrow night? Certainly, it performed more this evening, said Tishikage. Well, Jiraiya says he looked towards the two council members. Won't you allow me to treat both of you for such a thankful evening? Both of them agree as it was an opportunity to see with the famed Jiraiya in public. After they were gone, the Tishikage looked towards Momosuwa, who was already in his study. Well, I am 70% sure that Nudaru is a traitor. 70%? Asked Tishikage. As the man nodded, Jiraiya actually gave away nothing. Despite his behavior, he can be quite deceptive when you want to be. I noticed a few looks that seem disturbing though, and at like the time you want to speak to Jiraiya. That is why I rank him at 70%. A few concerned looks, and he was eager to talk to a legendary ninja. That is your big evidence? Asked Tishikage. My lord Tishikage, I eliminate all the other members from suspicion. It is certainly one of these two. Given only a few more days, I'm certain I can find this traitor. But it seems that Jiraiya wanted to help him escape sooner than that. Were you to simply allow me to arrest both of them? No, the entire point of this is to avoid angering the clans by arresting one of them without any cause. But my lord, were you to allow it, I will certainly catch a traitor. Yes, and you will also arrest someone that is innocent. No, until you're completely certain, you will not arrest a council member. I see. In that case, we shall keep a watch on them. And tomorrow night, Jiraiya would almost turn to pass information towards one of them at any point. Do whatever you think best, said Tishikage. The following morning, Saicho received a request for a meeting as he met with the envoy in the lobby. Follow me. Those were the words he was given and nothing more, nothing less. Though he did not like it, he still followed the man through the streets of the Hidden Stone. As they came towards a small building, a one-story building at the edge of the city, painted in front of the building in simple white paint that was fading away was jail. Saicho's hand twists and he wanted to take out his katana. If this was some sort of trap, he would fight and be a prisoner. Momosuwa stepped out of the building and gave a bow. Good morning. I hope you slept well. Fine, said Saicho. What is this about? I'm sorry, said Momosuwa. Did you not see that you were interested in the Uzumaki prisoners? He figured that this was all a trip, but he couldn't help but feel a little bit hopeful. You really mean they are prisoners from my clan? We have a prisoner. We originally took 6, but years in the Grand Quarry. Thus, bad things to one health. I'm surprised one survived this long. Saicho had to calm himself from slicing this man up with his katana. He had stood there and just said that 5 of his family members worked in death in the stone quarries. I can understand if you're upset, Momosuwa said in a rather calm manner. But please keep your killer intent in check. I would hate for one of my envoys to strike you down in order to protect me. Saicho calmed himself. I want to see who it is. I want to see who's still alive. Of course, that's why I brought you here. Come with me, please. As Saicho followed behind him. As it was a simple jail, there was only 6 cells. 5 were empty. In the last one, a worn figure was there, sitting on the ground in chains. He seemed weary and exhausted. His hair was dirty. It was mostly red, with some dirt in it. His clothes were merely rags hanging on him. But as he looked up in those green eyes, you could see courage and the will to never give up. That strength was the only thing that allowed him to endure. It took a while, but he saw him. Uncle? Nephew? Said Saicho. The prisoners smiled at each other. I knew it had to be a lie. They told me Whirlpool was destroyed years ago. They said my clan was dead, but I always knew it was a lie. Saicho ached for what he was about to say, as he felt like he was taking away his hope. They told the truth about Whirlpool. He really is gone. But you still have family. Sadness and disappointment flashed over his eyes. But he still seemed a bit determined. Oh, who's left, he asked. I can't tell you that right now, nephew. But you have family and a home that is waiting for you. A home? But if Whirlpool is gone, what home could I have? Your home is wherever your family is, and where you'll be loved and accepted. Well, this has been touching, but you'll have to go now, said Momosuwa. I want him released, said Saicho. I can pay any ransom you name. We are not in the habit of ransoming our slaves. I can pay you 1 million Ryu, said Saicho. No. 10 million then. 10 million for a slave. Is he really that precious to you? Yes, damn it, he is. He's my family. Could you actually come with such a vast sum? You don't look that wealthy. Could you manage to get it from Jiraiya? No. I am close to one of the wealthiest clan heads in the world, and she would happily pay it. I could have the money here in a day. Well, that is tempting, but no. I have a different ransom in mind. What the hell do you want? Asked Saicho. A name, Momosuwa said. I know why Jiraiya and the rest of you are here. Tell me the name of the man you're trying to rescue, and you can have your nephew. I don't know what you're talking about, Saicho said blankly. Well, that's a pity. In that case, your nephew will remain here. Should you suddenly learn the name I seek, return here. But now it's time for you to go. Uncle! I love you, Uncle. And please tell whoever is left I love them as well. Damn it. I love you, nephew, and I swear to you, I will get you out of here. Upon reaching the hotel, damn it, what's so important? Asked Jiraiya, as Saicho wake him up. As the four of them got gathered, as they went to a cafe, as they were talking quietly. So I have another relative, said Naruto. That's right, and he has suffered endless heavy labor while watching the other people around him expire. As he looked directly at Jiraiya, we have to get him out. I am all for helping you get your clan member, but not at the expense of harming Konoha. Whoever you're trying to save is a traitor, and by definition, scum, says Saicho. That may well be true, but the fact is, he has information that is wealthy to Konoha. Given Monosuwa the name will destroy Konoha's spy network here and damage the Leaf Village. As Saicho leaned forward, the Leaf Village will survive no matter what happened here. And we're talking about the survival of my clan. He's not only my kinsman, but he's also Kushina's and Nanashi's as well. I know that, said Jiraiya. Under different circumstances, I would be the first to offer my help. But not at the cost of damaging Konoha. And since I'm the only one that knows his name, I get final say. Oh really, Saicho growled. Take it easy, Grand Uncle, said Naruto. Jiraiya is right, we can't jeopardize Konoha's security for personal reasons. Saicho looked at Naruto in surprise and disappointment. As Jiraiya nodded in approval, I'm glad you understand. With both Jiraiya and Naruto against him, Saicho settled down as he ate his breakfast. After eating, Jiraiya and Yamato left, while Naruto stayed behind. As Saicho looked at Naruto with sadness, I'm sorry that this is not important enough to go against Jiraiya, but I'm getting him out no matter what it takes. Naruto smiled beneath his mask. You should know me by now to know that I will never abandon anyone that is family. What? But you said you wouldn't jeopardize Konoha's security. I did, and I won't. I won't hurt Konoha, but there is no way in hell that Jiraiya will tell us the name. So you're planning to do this behind his back, aren't you, says Saicho. This whole mission is being done by the Hokage's back, so I don't think he has the right to complain to us. We'll get him out and bring him to Konoha. That's a promise. Now tell me exactly, where is being held, said Naruto. Time skip. Jiraiya was currently sitting through a production, as he didn't know why they go through the trouble of having man look like woman, as this was a kabuki, as it was a romance one. He had actually asked the producer that once, and the man told him that it was tradition. As some of them looked so much like women, it was difficult to tell. But they were man, all of them were man. Yes, it was for the show, for the act. So here he was sitting through a 3-hour performance. The theater had about 2,000 seats and they were all packed. He was certain that some of them had envoys in disguise. He would not be surprised if Monosuwa was also here watching him, as the two council members are at each of his side. As it came to a climax, with the man and the woman that were in love, but they couldn't be in love because of the family that they came from dive off the cliff. As the shadows then dim, Jiraiya leaned forward. As he did so, his hand landed on both of the man's lap beside him. As he pulled back both of his hands, clapping for the performance, one of those hands had a note in it. His agent had took it and quickly hid it to be read later. As Jiraiya leaned back and relaxed, his work was finally done for the evening. As that was going on, Saicho was showing her to the building. Jiraiya came back to the hotel room as he had a stamp with the Tsuchikage sign of approval on it. And he copied it, and just like that he had the Tsuchikage sign of approval to write on what note that he wanted. He really have to teach a kid stuff like this if he's gonna take over his spy network one day. The next day, the four of them went out and picked a random spot to have lunch. We are taking our guests out tonight, Jiraiya informed them in a whisper. Take anything you really need, but leave your backpack and clothes behind. We have to look like we're coming back to our hotel suites. So, what's the plan? Asked Yamato. Listen carefully, I'm only going over this once, said Jiraiya, as he went over the plan with them. That sounds awfully risky, said Saicho. You cannot win without taking a few risks, said Jiraiya. You sound like Godmother when she's gambling, said Naruto. Don't worry, I have good luck. So long as nothing unexpected happens, we should be fine. As Saicho and Naruto managed not to look at each other with what they were planning. Time skip. So who's up for a late trip in the bathhouse, said Jiraiya. What is with you and bathhouses? Asked Saicho. It is my secret for staying eternal youth and vital. That and all the exercise I get chasing by angry girls and mobs who find me doing my research. Though he had to argue with them, he get all of them to agree. The four of them stepped out laughing and joking with each other, while 4 tiny mice also exit the elevator unnoticed. Meanwhile, Nodoru stuffed the pocket of his vest with money and his wife Jules, the damn harpy. At least he wouldn't miss. His heart was pounding tonight he would leave his homeland forever, or he would be arrested. It was hard to believe that all of this began over a little extra money. He had been young, and he wasn't access to the family fortune. He earned some debts and the people had threatened to go to his father to collect. His father would be furious, and yes, he was terrified. That was when Jiraiya came along and offered to pay off the debts, and all he asked for in return was a little information about some of the lesser clans. Only later he realized what an idiot he was to fall for such a blatant trap. But by the time he figured it out, it was too late already. It was too late, he was a traitor and he couldn't just say, "I'm sorry. Sorry I sold out my clan, my village and my Kage just to protect my own ass." He imagined saying that to Mudasua as he was being interrogated. He could easily imagine Mudasua nodding and accepting his apology, and then tell one of his envoy which bone to break next, always in that polite tone of course. As he quickly got ready, as the message was to meet him at bathhouse at 11. Meanwhile, said Jerez sink into the hot water, as the others started sinking as well. Time skip, as Nodoru was making his way when he was suddenly surrounded by Mudasua and 3 other envoys as well. "In the name of the teacher Kage, I place you under arrest," and Mudasua. "No," said Nodoru. Before he could even try to get away, one of the envoys struck him in the head and knocked him out. The other 2 members caught him before he could fall. Mudasua looked at the rooftops. "The 2 of you report in." Almost instantly, 2 envoys were standing in front of him. "Sir, has something happened?" Mudasua nodded. "I was given the name of his traitor and granted access to arrest him. I want 2 of you to go to his home and do a thorough search. Tear it apart and find any evidence of his treachery. I will be bringing to envoy headquarters." "Yes," Boatman says. They disappear. Mudasua turned to the others and the prisoner. "We have no time to waste. Let's go." As they began to move like a flash over the rooftops. Time skip at the gate. 3 Chunins looked up when they saw envoys with prisoners move forward. They were about to call out when Mudasua passed them. "I am under orders from Tishikage to transport a prisoner," as he held out the order with Tishikage's seal on it. The 2 Chunin nodded as they knew who he was, and after all he had the Tishikage seal of approval. As they headed off. Meanwhile, "Could you help me with something?" a small, polite voice spoke. Jiraiya slowly opened his eyes as he saw Mudasua and 8 fully dressed envoy. "You know, you'll have to take some clothes off to enjoy the water," said Jiraiya. "I am not here for the water, I'm here because I received a report that 2 of my agents started to search our room without my permission. When I spoke to them, they said I ordered them to conduct the search. After, I arrest Nidori." Jiraiya looked surprised. "You arrested a member of the council?" "Why?" "I did not arrest him, but I desire to. He was suspected of high treason." "Really?" "He didn't really seem type." As Mudasua sighed, he pulled a kunai and tossed it toward Jiraiya's chest. Jiraiya poofed away, as he threw 3 shurikens to the others as he also poofed away. "Well, this is unfortunate." He turned to the envoy to his right. Jiraiya and his companions have had no doubt already left the hidden stone. "I want 3 hunter squads sent after them immediately. Tell them their orders are to eliminate Nidori by any means. Since he's now under the protection of Hassan, that will prove difficult, as if we try to capture him. Also, send a squad to his home to arrest all members of his household and secure a proper search." The envoy nodded and disappeared. Mudasua frowned. The Tsuchikage would not be pleased. Time skip. About 15 miles outside of the hidden stone, Jiraiya laughed. He was still in Mudasua's image, but it was his own voice. "It took them 15 minutes to figure it out. That was actually better than expected. I still can't believe no one spotted our hench," said Yamato. As Jiraiya smiled, it looked somewhat wrong on Mudasua's face. "I never thought they would. No one checked to look for a hench when situations seem plausible. They only ever check when something is rather unusual." "You know that's true," said Yamato. "Maybe we need to give our own security forces training on that." "Alright, they will definitely send 100 ninjas after us. With a 15 minutes head start, we will definitely be able to escape them. We'll all take soldier pills and keep going non-stop until we reach our destination." "Where's that nerd to ask?" Jiraiya chuckled. "You don't need to know." "Actually, I do," said Naruto. "Oh yeah? And why is that?" Kitty asked. "Because I'm not the real Naruto, I'm just a clone. The real me is still in the hidden stone." "What?" Jiraiya shouted. "Kid, what the hell were you thinking?" "I was thinking I wouldn't abandon someone who's family, and that you wouldn't help me." "Damn it, Naruto, this is no game. You know I made the choice I did." "Yeah, you did what was best for Konoha, and I understand that, which is why I help. But I also have a duty to my clan and my family, which is as ever more important to me as my duty to Konoha. Godmother has a habit of saying that she's acting as a Hokage whenever she makes a decision that she doesn't want to. I can understand that, and I know there are times when you can only choose one or the other. But in this case, I decided to choose both by making a suicide run," said Yamato. Naruto shook his head. "Oh, have you no faith in your future Hokage?" "Kid, this is serious. You're completely on your own. In a village, pack of enemy ninjas. What do you expect to do on your own?" "I plan to save my relative and sneak out, or fight my way out if I have to. Then I'll meet you wherever you're heading." "Kid," Jiraiya said, "the odds of you making it out of the hidden stone is long. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. I'll never die until I'm Hokage." Jiraiya looked at that smile. "We're going to a small fishing town near the waterfall. right behind the border. It's called Asushi, and we should be there in 3 days. Yeah, I'll meet you all there in 3 days, he said, as he poofed away. Yamato turned angry to Saisho. You knew about this, didn't you? Yeah, I did. How could you help him do this? He's gonna die there. Naruto is the finest ninja I come to know, and I'm damn proud to call him my grandnephew. I would have insisted to stay with him as well, but he insisted I go, because he assured me that he can rescue our kinsman and get out and escape. And you know what? I believe him 100%. I think he can do it. And if he can't, then you will fall trying to save someone precious to him, Saisho said after a long break. No ninja can ask for a better end. It doesn't matter now, Jiraiya said. It doesn't matter. It's already done and we can't change it. Either he will meet us or he won't. We need to worry about yourself now and Nidoru. The three of them hurried on with their burden slung over Jiraiya's shoulder. You better survive this, kid, or Kushina and Tsunade are gonna take turns murdering me. You better come back alive, Jiraiya said. Meanwhile, as Naruto used the transformation of an Anbu ninja, as he approached the jail and dropped it, there were just a couple of ordinary guards there who couldn't mold chakra. As he knocked them out and dragged them inside the building, wasting no time, the prisoner quickly came to his feet. Hey, you must be my uncle. Or I guess you could be my second cousin. I mean Saisho is my grand uncle. And he said that you're his nephew. So that means you have to be my uncle. Or my second cousin, right? As Naruto focused struck to his hand and ripped the cell door off his hinges. As he snapped off the chains. I'm really happy to meet you. Well, I'm very happy to meet you too, the man said. So I guess you're a family. As Naruto nodded. So, you're Uzumaki. Well, technically I'm a Namikaze, but my mother is a Uzumaki. So I'm Uzumaki by blood if not by name. He nodded. Who's your mother? Naruto was about to answer when he felt chakra signatures from outside. We have company as Naruto bent down as he pulled a scroll and his ink and his brush. As he quickly started to write on it as fast as possible. As Jiraiya taught him what to do with this, and he was going to get it right. What are you doing? The man asked. I can't protect you and fight a battle, so I'm going to seal you into a scroll and send you to my mom in Konoha. You're going to put me in a scroll, the man said a bit nervously. Yeah, it's the only way. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. But it's the only way for me to rescue you, said Naruto, as he completed the scroll. The man really trusted Naruto for some reason and didn't know why. Well, if it was true, he really was his family, and he trusted him. Well, alright then, he said. Better be in a scroll than being chained up. Don't worry, next thing you know, you'll be my mom, and you'll be safe. As the old man was sucked away in the scroll, as the word for human appeared on it. As he bit his thumb and went through hand sign, summoning jutsu. Hey boss, Yamakichi said. Isn't that a bit early for a meal? Never mind that, listen Yamakichi. This is really important. I need to bring this scroll to my mom and tell her one of our clansmen is sealed inside of it. Tell her to release him and take care of him. No kidding? No, it's really important. Can I count on you? You got it, boss. Thank you, Yamakichi. I owe you big time. Will I still get 2 bags of chips for this? Naruto grinned. For this, I think my mom will cook you a 7-course meal. Yamakichi nodded as he poofed away. As Naruto could feel the chakra signatures coming up on him, he then started to think about the suffer that his clansmen went through, and everything that happened to them. As he smiled, as he started to feel something awoken inside of him, as he was hoping that he came down to a fight for all the suffering they caused. As he started chuckling darkly. What the hell? An Anbu muttered. Can you feel that? What is this chakra? Another one said. Be quiet, Modosuwa said. Do try and remember we are Anbu, and not a bunch of school children. He could understand why they're worried. He never felt such a powerful chakra, or one that was tainted with such evil. You there in the prison, Modosuwa said. I know that you're alone. If you surrender, I will guarantee your life. You're completely surrounded by 50 Anbu ninja. There's no hope of escaping. Surrender peacefully, and your life will be spared. A chuckle could be heard coming from inside. You need some more healthy bodies for the court. No thanks, I'll think I'll pass. Modosuwa signaled and 4 Anbu stepped forward. If you resist, you will only make things harder for yourself. I have no wish to harm you. Tell me where Jiraiya and the others are taking the prisoner, and you will not be harmed. Oh, you don't want to hurt me? As the laughter came again and they started to feel something chill run down their spines. Well, the problem is I want to hurt you. I want a whole lot of payback for what you did to the Uzumaki clan. So you're Uzumaki after all, Modosuwa said, as he moved his man, as he gave them the hand signs to set up everywhere. As 4 Anbu rushed to the door. Their screams were horrible, but it didn't last for long. As things were tossed out, it was their pieces as they were torn apart. Modosuwa got a worried look on his face. 4 of his Anbus got slaughtered within seconds. He looked to the man of his left, calling all additional Anbu reserves right now. The agent nodded and quickly disappeared. It seems I seriously underestimate you, Neji. You are Neji, aren't you? You can call me that if you like. I have other names though. Will you share them with me, Modosuwa asked. Alright. I've been called Monster, Demon, son, friend, little brother, grandson, godson, nephew, kid, boyfriend, leader, grandnephew, and boss. I've also been called the demon for leaf, the Kyuubi, and most popular, the fourth Hokage's son. There were gasps all around as Modosuwa felt his heart turn to ice. But my real name is Naruto Namikaze, but you can just call me Death. As an explosion, as the roof of the building was blown away, as a figure leaped into the darkness. As they saw the red chakra and he looked like an animal the way he was crouching down. 3 dangerous tails flashed around creating gusts. As numerous of arms exploded from the red chakra and lashed forward. As Anbu nearest got caught, he was spared no time as he was torn to pieces. A storm of kunai explosive notes were thrown towards him, but he exploded out of it with a smile. A stone ninja transformed his body to living stone and rushed him without fear as he drive both arms down with full force on Naruto's skull, but the fist exploded from the right chakra. As Naruto raised his arm and smashed it down, it ripped right into the man's head, breaking his skull as his body was squashed to the ground. One Anbu fired out a spit-sized dart out of his mouth that started to flash on Naruto, trying to obscure his vision as another one fired bullets of earth as he simply roared and blew them all away. Boulders were rained down on Naruto as the earth cracked and he was being sinked down into it. But he simply laughed. They thought these jutsus could do him anything. As he went through hand signs, as Modosuwa watched the battle, he remembered the mistake he made as he sent out the 2 Anbus to assassinate Naruto Namikaze when he was on a trip out of the village. The mission ended with failure with 2 Anbu dead. An order came from Tsuchikage, no more attempts. Modosuwa finally understood what a terrible mistake he had made. As Modosuwa saw the boy speeding through hand sign, he felt fear grip his heart. Earthworm technique, he said, as his body faced into the earth just in time. As Naruto slammed his palms together, Kamikaze Jutsu, a massive ripple explosion came out of him as he slammed into the first man. He thought he was going to be blown back, but he was surprised when he was sliced to pieces. As tiny wind blades were tearing through the air, as they started getting large, the buildings in front of him were exploded, ripped to shreds. The ninjas around him were torn apart, as he could feel more chakra singers approaching him. As he was about to move, but his left arm felt numb. Damn it, already? He should go another tail. If he used fourth, he could really wreck this place. They need to die for what they did to his family. Yes, he would enjoy ripping. What the hell? What the hell am I saying? He knew that using a fourth tail would corrupt his mind and give the Kyuubi some control. As he looked around the destruction he caused, at least he gotten some revenge for the Uzumakis. I guess I have to leave something behind to cover my retreat. Shell Clone Jutsu. 500 red chakra clones came to existence as he then shot off. As he brought some clones with him just in case he got tired of using red chakra. As the Anvus met up with the clones, Shadow Clones and Anvus as he threw a pair of kunais as he stabbed into the clone's chest. Wait, what the hell? As he realized something was going on but too late, as a sword teared through his throat. As the other one started to throw an attack, but the clones were not being dispelled. They got back up. As the clones started to tear and rash, as the red chakra was surrounding them as well. Miles away, as Naruto received the memories when the clones were destroyed. As he let the red chakra go, and exhaustion slammed into him. Luckily, 2 of his clones were there. As they kept on moving at top speed, don't missing a step. At least he's safe. His clansmen. Back at Konoha, Kamikichi arrived. As Kushina came out, surprised. This wasn't time. Was there bad news? Kamikichi, what are you doing here? Has something happened? Yeah, Naruto sent me here with a scroll that said you need to unlock it. He says there's one of your family members in it, and you need to take care of him. He also said that you would cook me a 7-course meal for this. He sent Uncle Saisho? Is he hurt? Saisho was the only other family member, so it had to be your uncle. I don't know. As she pulled out the scroll. Release! There was a poof. As a man was standing there, but this was not her uncle, as he seemed to be in bad shape. She could see the outline of his ribs through the rag he was wearing. Whoever he was poorly fed. She could also see scars in his hands and legs. What happened to this poor man, and why did Naruto say that he was family? As she looked at his face, she gasped. It took him a moment, as there standing in front of him was a woman, dressed in red and black of the Uzumaki. She had ridiculously long red hair now, but her face, he couldn't forget that face, it was the same. Hey Cookie, it's been a while, he said. Tears started leaving from Kushina's eyes, as he tried to hold back tears. As Kushina shot forward, "You're side," she said as she grabbed her brother and hugged him. Time skip, the teacher guy stood on the roof. in the western part of his village and was overlooking the destruction. The site reminded him of many from the Great Third Ninja War. Several blocks had simply been flattened to the ground. The buildings that were there were reduced to rubble, and there were still bodies lying when they are falling. Battle has been over for an hour now. Many of the dead had been recovered and wounded. Some of them had been treated on the spot. Near the center of the battle zone, bodies had been covered in white sheets. All the dead and wounded were his people. The enemy had did this and then escaped. He had seen one-sided defeats like this before, when they faced him as he clenched his fists. Report, he said as someone approached him. Murasua said calmly, estimates are 150 dead, with the number still rising. We have twice that number wounded. Nearly all the casualties were from the envoy ranks. And the traitor, it was Ndoru. Jerry and his other traitors were able to get him out of there before the fight began. Fight? You say fight? This was no fight. This was a full-scale battle right in our very walls. And you say that the Yellow Flash son did this. That is what he claimed, and given the chakra he possessed, there was no room for doubt. We had the son of Yellow Flash here, and we did not know it. I would call that a rather fail of our intelligence department, wouldn't you agree? I admit, it was a failure, and I accept full responsibility. We had it in our power to end the Namikaze line with just a cup of poison. Instead, we had this. Tell me, why did he attack if the traitor was already freed? Was this some distraction or was it a deliberate act of war? Neither. I believe he was done to liberate a prisoner. What prisoner? The Uzumaki that was left. Why would the Namikaze go through so much trouble to liberate the Uzumaki? It appears that his mother, Namikaze Kushina, may have been the prisoner sister. And how did that little piece of information slip past you? Sir, her maiden name was not reported in any documents in Konoha. It is well known that she wore a whirlpool headband, but her clan was not known to us. I only realized the information after a certain visitor, and the statements that he said, a visitor with Jiraiya's party. If you had realized a bit sooner, it might have helped. For the first time, you disappoint me. I humbly apologize to you, Tsuchikage-sama. The Tsuchikage's hand turned into a diamond-like substance. With a flash, he tore out the man's throat. Modusu gashed at his throat as he collapsed down the roof, as he splattered for a bit before dying. Apology accepted, as he kicked the body off the roof. It's a shame, but such a failure cannot be forgiven. As he waved his hand as another man appeared to his right. You have just been promoted, Takia. Congratulations. Thank you, Tsuchikage-sama. I shall do my best to not disappoint you. That would be wise. Now, how many envoys remain effective? A little over 200. Do you wish for us to continue the pursuit after Namikaze? No. After this display, I will not pursue with anything less than the army. Is it your will to declare war and leave village for this action, my lord? Certainly, it's more than enough to begin a war. No, I have no intention of starting a war against a village that has him on his side. Then, you will ignore what happened here tonight, my lord. I never said that. There are ways to harm our opponent, not just for open war. Announce that we are breaking diplomatic relationship with the Hidden Leaf village and declaring an embargo. All Fire Country merchants inside the Hidden Stone must withdraw in 24 hours. None of our merchants shall go to Konoha or purchase their goods. Takia nodded gravely. Yes, Tsuchikage-sama. That sound is serious, but they barely trade one another, so it wouldn't be that bad. Also, I won't bout his place. 1 million for Niru, 5 million for Jiraiya, and 15 million for Naruto Namikaze. You mean to place a bounty on one of his sons? Takia said in surprise. That's right. Had he nearly just helped that traitor escape, we would have ignored it. But Namikaze was clearly under his direction, so we clearly place a bounty on him. And we will also issue a kill on sight order if him and Dori are ever spotted in the Earth Country ever again. And what about the Namikaze? Issue a flee on sight and change his rank from A to S. Yes, Tsuchikage-sama. In the history of the Hidden Stone, only one person has ever gotten that degree before. And it was none other than his own father. And he was getting the same thing now. There's one more thing concerning Namikaze. Yes, Tsuchikage-sama? Let us see if we can find some allies to help us deal with him, as he intended to put an end to Namikaze line, one way or another. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want the next part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember to share all of your friends in your social media platform, and stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, without further ado, I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.